you know really quick. And so that's what it's all about. It's about having things targeted. And then because things are so targeted in the networks, when you make them an offer, you increase your probability that they're going to consume it.
What if you already done that? You have social networks that you didn't do steps 1 through 3.
Right.
Are you going to touch on how to fix that?
Yes, how to fix it. In most spaces of the networks, it's just you can always go back in and make adjustments. Now, fan pages, if you got a Facebook fan page, it's too late.
Yeah.
You got to delete it. That's the only thing you can do really with it. You can't like change the name of it. It is what it is at this point. Now you can try to change the culture inside of it and the environment inside of it, but the title that you named it is what's getting optimized on the web. That's what people are going to pull when they search for it. So you could technically, so I always kind of warn people before they go in to be clear about, and you can create multiple fan pages, but I always warn people, like, think about what you are embarking upon before you go into it so that you can have it much more strategic and everything will start to make more sense as to when a new tool comes out, you can kind of already in your mind know how you're going to implement that tool because you follow the first steps here. You kind of already know how you're going to utilize it. So we've optimized. Now we're going to go into integration. And we're going to learn how to integrate. And what I mean by integration is how do we integrate all of these things together and make them work. On your handout that you have there is I gave everybody a little handout there with what I called my social media blueprint. Now what I want to share with everybody up here is this. Now we're going to get into the different platforms. But every one of them. Now I know a lot of people are fans of WordPress. Anyone fans of WordPress in here? Okay, how about Blogger? Anyone like Blogger? I'm the only one that likes Blogger? You're missing the boat on Blogger, man. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that, just like WordPress. But WordPress and Blogger are kind of the two that are out front there. And the reason Blogger is ahead of WordPress is because Google owns Blogger. And because he owns it, they take care of it. WordPress is out there by itself, but there's a lot of smart people that keep that thing going with plugins and updates. But WordPress is owned by a big company that plans to keeps their arms around it. But here's what I'm showing you here is an actual network that I created. And the whole thing about it is this. Everything starts in the hub in the center with your blog. You've got videos, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook and LinkedIn, you've got your website. I connect all of these things together. All of these things are interconnected together. The hub is the blog. So I connect my blog and my YouTube together. Twitter to my blog. Facebook, LinkedIn to my blog. My website to my blog. I connect everything together. Once everything is connected together, I can update in 2 places and everything gets flooded all over the place, whether it's content or videos. And I update in 2 places because it saves me time. But here's the most magical piece right here. This right here at the bottom is the box. Now I want everyone to say that with me one time. Say the box.
The box.
Because that's where everybody has to go at the end of the day. They've got to opt into your box. You've got to collect their names and their information. Every network, you have to be busy getting them to opt into something so that they end up in your box, where you capture their names and their information so you can market to them. No matter where you go in my networks, you're going to find an opt-in box there waiting for you, calling, whispering to you to join, to get in here, because I can only market to you consistently once I get you inside of my email system. Now, how many people in here are using an email system to keep in touch with their customers right now? What do we got here? Constant Contact?
Yeah.
Anyone using Aweber? Well, Aweber is another service out there. It's not as pretty as Constant Contact, but what it has, what I like to say it has, is autoresponders, which means when I email somebody, when someone joins my list, I can send you a series of notes out over the course of days or weeks or months and not do anything. In other words, it automatically goes out every week to you, a note, an update, an education, a piece of information. My system is set up now where it's connected to all the social networks. So when a piece of information goes out, also Twitter gets the update and Facebook gets the update. So I'm able to automate and integrate everything together. So when I send out an email message, I send out or I update a video, my whole networks get flooded with the information. So it doesn't take me, and I can't say that it'll only take you 5 minutes a day because I don't know how long it'll take you. But if you automate and integrate everything together, you will reduce your time doing these things. The biggest thing that has to happen inside of the networks is that you have to feed it information. You have to keep it updated. That's probably the biggest thing that has to occur in there. And so all of my networks are connected together. And the whole intention is when I put some content out there to drive people to the site to read it, is to get them to opt in for information so I have the opportunity to market to them. And that's the entire focus. That is the entire reason that I participate in the social networks, and that's the entire reason that I deal with my clients. Because that's all they really want to do. They really don't want to do anything else but just get leads and just generate sales. They have their own personal missions at times. They have their own causes that they participate in, but they're really there first to do business. That's their focus for being there. And so that's what I focused on, and that's what I'm, as I said before, here to help you do.
So your setup that you're pushing out from your blog to the outer wheel, or you're pushing from the outer wheel into the blog, centralizing it that way. So like if you post something on YouTube, it's automatically updating it on, it's posting it to your blog.
Correct. Yep. Okay. Right. So when my two launch pads are actually, it is one that's called TubeMogul. TubeMogul is a video sharing service, and I'll upload to TubeMogul, which updates to all the video sites. Then I'll update my blog, which updates all the other social networks. And I'll use those two as my way of getting my content out. And then I have another one, which is called Hootsuite, and there's a lot of these out here. Yep, and I use that for all of my mini messages that go out, all my little announcements that go out. And those are my launch pads. But everything has to first be integrated together correctly first. And the problem is most of these services do not give a roadmap to doing this. It's a lot of trial and error. And you kind of learn through the community in a way. It's almost like graffiti on the wall. You kind of ask a question and you hope somebody else has had it. And then you look on the wall and somebody wrote and said, here's how you do that. Well, here's the problem. Most people in this room are busy with their business. And they don't have time to be up all night trying to figure out these things. But this is what I do for a living. This is also so while you're living your lives, I'm in the basement of my house toiling away at 2 a.m. trying to figure this out. Because this is what I do for my clients, and this is what I do for my own business. As I mentioned, I'm a professional speaker as well. I talk on change management, and I talk on conflict resolution. So I want associations, groups, and corporations to hire me to do keynote addresses. So I use social media to find bookings for me to go speak. But then I also utilize it to help business owners in their business as well. But this first was a platform I used, just like this, promoting my speeches. Because I wanted associations, executive directors, and people to see this and see that he'd be a good candidate for our event and to get hired from that platform. So that's why the networks are connected there. So every day I get up, it doesn't take me very long to send out some content and get it across the networks. Oops. The next thing on here, what is the selling process in the social media world? So here we go. Get to the money. When I talked about the foundational networks, these are the networks that I was referring to. Blogger or WordPress, whichever your preference is. Gotta have a blog, YouTube videos, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. These are the pillars. Now there may one day be some magical social network that evolves out of this. But at this point, it seems like Facebook is a runaway train right now that is growing. And it only seems like people are creating things to complement Facebook, but not to become Facebook. It seems like there possibly one day will be someone that comes out and figures something out. But MySpace kind of got beat by Facebook because Facebook, one, created a situation where people had to be invited in. MySpace was just letting everybody in. And and Facebook also had a lot more little features that created a deeper community, a deeper relationship based on deeper interest. So I'm not sure what the next big network will be, but right now Facebook is one of the, it's actually in April it had surpassed most of the other search engines. And it's either top 1 or top 2 of search engines now. And it's not even, you wouldn't even think of Facebook as a